Hello guys and welcome to the third video of front-end web development. In the previous videos, I have shown you some HTML tags as well as a little bit of CSS. So in this video, we are going to learn few more things about HTML tags and CSS properties. So I've lost the previous data, so I'm going to create this project again. So I'm going to go for my folder, repositories, and then I will make a directory called blog, and then I'm gonna just the code. So this will open the project in VS Visual Studio Code. In the previous video, I've shown how you can install Visual Studio Code and set up your VS Code. I'm gonna add a file, new file, and I will name it index.html, and then style.css script.js, and then I will just do doc, and it will give me the documentation, and I'm gonna change it to blog. Now, in the previous videos, we have seen some tags like div, span, and section, article. There are a lot of tags, but now we are going to create a navigation tag in which there will be a list of links that we will just navigate through, like home and contact us, etc. So I'm going to create some, like maybe three lists. And first one, it will be home, and second one will be about me, and then the third one will be something like socials maybe, and then we will go for the next part, which is the main part. So I'm gonna go for div and hash main. So what this basically does is it will create an element called main with the id main. It is a div element. So inside this div element we can put many elements as well. So I'm gonna first of all I'm gonna create the heading tag. So I'm gonna create a let's say h3, and I will just write my name CSP or something like that, and then we will go down, and then I'm gonna create another div known as, let's say, introduction. Small introduction of myself. Hello, I'm CSP. Just small thing, you can write a paragraph for that, but I'm gonna put a simple sentence for this example. Now I'm gonna go further down, and I will do div hash about me, and then I'm gonna write something else here. For now, I'm gonna just put Lornet some text here, and then I'll go down, and then I'm gonna put div hash socials, and inside this, I'm gonna link few things like GitHub, for example. So I'm gonna add another. We can add icons actually in this place, or we can simply put a, and then we will go for link, and then I will link my GitHub link, and then I will just put this. So after this, we can just simply click on go live, and it will open the browser. I'm going to restart it. It didn't open, so I'm going to restart it, of course. So it will ask me to choose a browser, and after opening it in a browser, we can see that this is what we wrote in here. So but there is no styling in this, so that is why it didn't show anything. Now we can simply link our CSS file, which is style.css, in our head tag. So I'm gonna link CSS. It is style.css, so I'm gonna just leave it this way. And inside CSS, we can actually style all these elements. So for better thing, I'm gonna reset. We have to reset the paddings and margins of every element. So to select every element, we use the hashtag symbol followed by the curly braces. So what this basically represents is that it's, the first one, which is this one, the star or asterisk, represents the selector. So we are selecting every element in the document, and then we are going to write the properties of these elements inside these curly braces. So let's say we are going to reset the paddings and as well as the uh, margins of every element. So I'm going to do padding 0 and then margin 0. So we can see that the width between these two got decreased. So I'm going to comment this to show the difference. So I commented this, and then you can see that there is a small gap which will be gone after I reset the um, paddings and well as margins. So I'm gonna put some padding for the body. So I'm gonna select the body element, and then I will give padding of, let's say, 20 pixels, and it will give the small space inside the body. I'm gonna leave it this way, and then I'm gonna go for. So we have to put the navigation bar this way, so it will come like this, as we see in the um, some websites. So we didn't give any ID for our navigation element, so I'm gonna give an ID navigation, and then to access the ID selectors, we use hash followed by your ID name. So I assign ID as navigation. So I'm gonna do hash navigation, uh, navigation, and then I will open this and I will write the properties here. So what we basically need is we have to arrange this home, about me, and socials in a single line, and as well as uh, a little block. So I also have to do this, and then hash. This is gonna be hash, just hash, and then home, and then a. This is gonna be about me. We can put these ID names, like for example here if we have about me. So if when I put here hash about me, and when I click here about me, it will navigate to this one. That means you will scroll to this one in the same page. You can navigate in the same page by putting this hash, your ID name. So I'm gonna remove about me here, and then I'll put it here. Then a social, and then I'm gonna put this here. This will actually make this. I'm gonna put to make the to show the difference. I'm gonna put uh, so we have a scroll bar for scrolling thing, right? Now when I click on, okay, what did we put in the about me? Yeah. So if I click on about me, it will navigate to about me. There we go. It will just scroll to about me section. So in the same page, you can navigate through many links. So the advantage of this is when you write some documentations or some blogs, you can simply put a link for this section you want to navigate to, and then when they click on the link, it will navigate. It will scroll to this section part. So this is about the navigation, and we are going to style the navigation now. So in the navigation we have lists. I already told about this, but I have to put UL here because it is in an ordered list. So now I'm gonna go here, and then so we need this navigation in a straight way, like in a horizontal way. So like the block which stays on the top of the page. So I'm gonna put it as, we can do this in a many ways. So I'm gonna use display property, and inside display you can use either inline block or flex, but it won't show any difference because we only have a single element in UL. single element in navigation. So what I'm gonna do is hash navigation and UL. So what this basically does is it will select the, let me hover over this and it will show you. So we have we it will select the element UL which is inside the hash navigation element. So we are selecting this element and we are applying a display flex. So what display flex basically does is it will arrange the elements right after the previous element in a horizontal way. And if we want it in a vertical way, we can do flex direction column, and it will change it to the column. So we basically use flex and grid displays when creating complex UI. So getting a grip on flex and grid is a very important thing in a front-end development. So let's say now we have three elements, three lists, which are inline. So I'm gonna add some padding for this UL. Let's say 10 pixels. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna style the navigation, and then I'm gonna add some background color for the navigation element. So background color, and personally I like dark theme, so I'm gonna put the dark theme, and as well as in body background color. So background color sets the background color of the element you selected. So just one root to one, and then we use color to change the text color. So I'm gonna put it as white, so you can see the difference. And then I'm gonna reset the text decorations of the link. So this home, about me, and socials are hyperlinks. So we are selecting a tag, uh, which are links actually. So I'm gonna change the text decoration. So what exactly is a text decoration is this underline. So we have underlines for these links, right? Home, about me, and socials. We have underlines. So I'm gonna change that to none. So text decoration is the property which handles all these underlines, strike throughs, and etc. So I'm gonna put it to done. So there will be no text decorations at all. And then I'm gonna change the color to something like white, and they'll change it to white. So, but I need these to inform me, to let me know that they are actually a link. So what I'm gonna do is a, and then I'm gonna put the column, and then hover. So what this basically does is, this is like a condition. So this style should apply. So whatever we write in these curly braces should apply only when the user hovers over the element. We can already see that when I'm hovering on the link, the cursor is changing to this handling cursor. And so I'm gonna change the opacity to something like 0.5, or to notice is better than this. We can actually change the background color, background color to a random color red. So when I hover over it, you can see that the color is changing to the color we specified here. And when we not hover on this, it will revert back to this styling. So when we hover on this style will apply, and when we don't hover on this style will apply. So I'm gonna change this to opacity 0.5. So it will stay at 50% of opacity when I hover on it. So we can see that we can get a feedback that we are hovering over a link. So, and another thing we have to do is, these are looking like these. These are, when they overlapping, right? So when they are just right after that, they look like they are overlapping over each other. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do list type, style type, none. So what this basically does is it will remove the the small dots before these three list elements, and then we can give some padding to the list elements, specifically these things. So we are going to give a small space between everything. So we are going to space for this one and this one and this one. So all three links will have a small space, and I'm going to use padding as well as margin. So I'm going to give 5 pixels of padding and then 5 pixels of margin. And we can basically see that now they are looking a bit better than before. And then I'm going to change the navigation background to something like this, so we can actually see that the um, you know difference between the body and this thing. So I'm gonna remove the padding for the body, so it actually looks better than before. And then we have all the content in the main block, so I'm gonna add the 20 pixels padding for the main block. Padding 20 pixels. Now it looks a lot better than before. So if we want to make this navigation bar fixed at that point, we can use a property called position fixed. So what this basically does is, even if you scroll the um, page, this navigation bar, so whatever element you put position fixed into, it will stay at that exact point. So for example, if I remove this and then I will put the display flex to, position fixed to socials. Let's say socials. Socials don't work because they're the final element, so we cannot really see the difference. Um, let's say you want to put, I'm gonna put another thing just for a test. I'm gonna lower maybe some text of 100 lines. So now we have some more lines. So I'm gonna go here. This is just for a uh, test. So I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna add the position property to fixed. And now you can actually see that it went to fixed. So if I navigate to socials, it is actually behind this element. So if I go to inspect, and then I'm gonna simply close this. So display now. And where exactly are these socials? Okay, wait a minute. Socials. So they are at the bottom of this. Scroll all the way here. They will be in the bottom. I cannot actually see them. Yes. So fix basically, what basically it does is it will fix the element to some exact point. So we will look into this in the future videos. So you don't really need to worry about this. Position fixed. And now we have another problem, which is the main content. So this is what the main content is moving to the, so behind this navigation bar. So there is no property to fix this, but we can actually do some little math to basically put this in a after this navigation bar. So what we have to do is we have to calculate the uh, height as well as the uh, like the distance of uh, this navigation. So what we have to do is we have to check all the paddings, margins, as well as basically font size as well, but we don't really need to. So I'm gonna put margin block, and then we can use cal keyword to calculate any arithmetic operations here. So we have 10 pixels padding for UL. So this padding basically shows in the one side. So when I put padding of 10 pixels, that means, let me show you this. So when I go to inspect and when I hover on this, we can see that the green color which is around this navigation bar. So this green color represents the padding. So we have 10 pixels of padding, which is applied on the four sides of this element. So what we are going to do now is we are going to add the uh, so we have padding on this, right? So we have to add the bottom padding. This one is 10 pixels, and then this one is 10 pixels. So we have total of 20 pixels. And now we further have this one, which has a padding of 5 pixels and margin of 5 pixels. So those two combined will be 10 pixels, and we have another 10 pixels bottom. So we totally have this one is 10, this one is 10, so 20 as well as 20. So we can simply put, we don't need to, we don't need calc here, so I can simply do 40 pixels, and we can put top 0 here, so it will stay on the top. So we can, if we don't put top 0 here, as you can see, if I remove this top 0, it will actually fix to this then as well. So when I put top 0, it indicates that the navigation tag should stay on the top simply. So we can just put this top 0. This we use top, bottom, left, or right for exactly for this purpose. When we do this, they will stick to the whatever direction we put there. So if I do bottom 0, let's say I put bottom 0, so it will shift to the bottom of this. And if I do right, it will go to the right. So we need it at the top. So I'm gonna top 0. If you add any displacement like 10 pixels or something, and it will come down a little bit, but we don't really need that in this case. So I'm gonna put 0. And then now we can see that we can actually see our main content below this tag, but we are missing a little bit of gap here, which will be because of this padding we put in this right side. So I'm gonna put another 20 pixels of padding, which gonna make the margin top of 60 pixels, and now we can see that it is looking good. But we have another problem now, which is the width of this navigation bar. So now when you apply fixed positions or absolute positions, the um, width and height will only fix it to this content inside that. So what we basically do is we will simply do width 100%, and then it will stretch to the end of this your screen. So now it is fixed, the navigation bar is fixed, and then we can, even if we scroll, it won't move. So users can just navigate through these with an ease. And then we have a lot of other properties as well. Like the most I use is we use grid flex. Display property is very important in front-end development, because in almost every web page or website you design, we use display property, like very important. So I'm gonna remove this lower map some text real quick because it's huge. Um, this, okay, and then I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna remove this as well because we don't need this at this moment. Now you can basically add some more links, like let's say project maybe. So I said that we are going to design a blog, but we are basically designing a portfolio at this point. Because we just learn a lot, right? So it's fine. So this way you can basically create any web page. So I'm gonna change this to here, and then I'm gonna put a heading for everything. This is about me, right? So about me, and then the socials. I'm gonna put in the H3, and then socials. So now we can see that they still look like a bit congested, right? So I'm gonna go here. So we want to apply different gaps for all these things, right? So I'm gonna use class for this. Class let's say this as a section, and then I will put class section for all three elements. So what this basically does is it will assign class of all these three things to a section. So I can simply come here and then I can select these sections. So we use dot when selecting a class element. So dot section will select all these three elements because all three the elements has section as their class name. So I'm gonna go here, section, and then I will apply padding only at the top and the bottom of these elements. I don't want them, I don't want padding to apply in the left and right sides of these elements. So what I'm going to do is, it's very simple. So what I'm going to do is, I will add maybe a 10 pixel padding on top and the bottom, and then I will apply 0 padding on left and right. So you can simply write it this way in a short form, 10 pixels and then 0 pixels. You can also extend this as, so the first, when you add the property padding, you can do it in this way, or you can also do it in this way. So we can put padding top 10 pixels and then padding bottom 10 pixels. You can do this way as well, but it will add two lines. So basically, when you write big CSS code, it will increase the um, you know, file size. So what it affects is one, your network, as well as the data that transfers is also increases. So what I'm going to do is remove these two, and then I'm gonna put this like this. You can also, if you want to add padding in exactly on the right side or on the left side, or specifically on the single thing, you can just do padding followed by your direction. But if you want to add multiple paddings, you can do this. So padding, and the first element will be top, and then right, and then bottom, and then left. So it goes in a clockwise direction. So 10 pixels will be on the top, and then 0 pixels on the right. And if I want to put 10 pixels on the bottom, I can do this, and then 0 pixels on the left. It will be same. If I do 20 pixels on the left, we can see that the another 10 pixels were added on the left side of these elements. So to simply do this, we can also put it this way, which will say that the first value will be applied to top and the bottom, and the second value will be applied for left and the right of the element. So you can simply do this for padding, margin, or properties. So now we have three sections divided, and then we can just do this. Now I want to change the font of this website because this is looking like a very official website, right? So I'm gonna go for Google Fonts, and then let's open the Google Fonts. I'm gonna maximize this. So Google Fonts give you a large variety of fonts you can add into your project. So it will be very simple to add Google Fonts, or if you want to add some other fonts, there are a lot of websites where you can get fonts. So my internet is a bit slow, so I'm sorry for the delay.
One eternity later.
So I recharged my internet. Basically, it's gone. It's over. So in this Google Fonts, you can actually select a lot of Google Fonts. So I'm gonna start with Roberto because it looks cool, and then we can simply select the variant we made, or you can simply select these by just clicking on Get Font, and it will show you this. You can simply click on this as well, Get Embedded Code, and then you can add your these fonts in a two ways. One in a HTML head tag, and the second way where you actually import these. Let me go down. I think they removed it, so we can simply copy this code, copy code, and then I'm gonna go to index.html, and then I'm gonna get here. And this means that we have linked our this font, this Roboto font into our HTML, and then we can simply use these styles to change the font. So I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna go for style of CSS, and then I will go for the body, and then I'm gonna change the font to something like font family. We have Roboto, and we can see that the font actually changed here, right? So now it's looking a bit better than the default fonts and stuff, right? Alright. Now what else is there here is we can actually put a lot of things inside this. We can put animations, we can do a lot of other things as well, which we will discuss in the next videos. So I'm gonna add another div for projects, right? So div hash project, and then we can put a list of projects here. So I'm gonna put a list, maybe a three, and then project hash one, maybe, or we can just simply do it in our next video. So I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna do adding projects. So when we can put up projects here, like list of projects. So now when we put socials here, right? It's really boring when we put just the um, name of the social media app we basically had. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use another thing known as fontawesome. Font awesome. So what this let me add CDN before. So what fontawesome basically is, I'll say it in the few, or we can discuss it right now. So what font awesome is, it will give you some icons, right? In a text format. So it will give you icons of almost a lot of things. There are a lot of icons in this. So you can just go to the website and then search for whatever font, whatever icon you need. So let's say I want a GitHub icon. So I can simply search for GitHub. And if I select on free, you will get the free icons. So I'm gonna select this one, and it will give you a code, this one basically. So you can just copy this and then paste it inside here, simply like that. And then if you don't link the font or some CDN, you won't see any icons here. So we have to link our font or some library. So what I'm gonna do is font or some search for font or some CDN, and then CDN.js, and then you can just copy this one, and then you can go all the way up there and then paste it in your head tag, right? And then when you return to blog, you can actually see the icon now. You can also put a lot of other icons like Discord as well. One of the things, discord.com, you have to put github.com, right? Yeah, I actually forgot that. So I can simply do this, then fk GitHub, GitHub, Discord. So now we have two icons. So when you click on this, they will basically go to this link. So if you want to open this web pages, when you click on this in a new page, so what you have to do is you have to simply put target blank. So when you put target blank, what happens is when you click on this particular you know hyperlink, right? So when you click on this, it will open in a new tab instead of reloading in the same tab. So this will be useful when you don't want to lose your progress or something like that. So When you click on this will open in completely new tabs. Um, that's it for today's video, and in the next video we'll see some JS where we actually um, do some other things, and as well as some CSS maybe properties, like maybe animations. We will put animations for this, and then we'll go further into this. So, and then we might actually create a GitHub repository for this, because GitHub repository is a must for almost any social software development. You need a pretty good knowledge on GitHub and as well as Git. So we'll see few basic commands of Git, um, and we will make a repository. We will add this project to the GitHub. You don't need to lose your progress on this like I did for the last two videos. So that's it for this video, and thank you for watching. Uh, Thank you very much.